you have to be able to manage pressure. I'll be the first to say to him, like, what have you achieved? Like, you ain't done nothing yet. I can't remember what pundit said it, but something along the lines of, their dad said to them, you haven't made it till you're a pundit. Basically till your career's done. And his career ain't started. His biggest pressure, he puts on himself sometimes, is finding his top level.
He applied himself to be better than he was yesterday.
Can you have too much too soon? How high he gets is going to be on him, but I always tell him the sky's the limit. I'm Perry Mitchell, I'm Khalil's dad. I'm also the co-founder of Futsal Tech Zone. He was always going to like and play football because from me, my dad, my uncle, we're like a football family, so he's always going to be involved. I started taking him to little places from he was about 2. When he was 3, he started at We Make Footballers, which he was young to start, but he went in and done well, so that's where he kind of started. There was 2 standout points for me when he was young, which made me realise he could be all right. I mean, when he was 3, he went in and to We Make Footballers, and the guy that runs it, he scouted him at 3. But he's come to me, he's confused, he's saying, he said he's only 3. He's got to be 5 to come in. And I'm like, yeah, he's 3. So he was confused, and he's probably like, he was looking around and saying, you know what, just keep him at it. Keep him at it. But then when he was at Arsenal, you then see the boys from North, South, East, West London. And that's when I saw, okay, he's good. Because there's other elite boys at his age here, and he's dominating. So I said, okay, yeah, he's all right.
Hi, I'm Khalil Mitchell. I'm a centre midfielder / winger, and I play for Chelsea FC. What I enjoy most is what football brings out of me. So it just allows me to express myself and enjoy it at me.
That's football! That is football!
I'm Dr. David Marriott, one of the founders of Lambeth Tigers Football Club, also a part of the recruitment team at Chelsea Football Club, and I also do some work with the Streetz football.
I heard about Lambeth early. I didn't want to bring him straight away. From what I could see, Lambeth had a winning mentality. And when he was young, I just wanted him to kind of enjoy it. The first sort of feedback I was getting or any work I was getting was from people that were around David anyway. It's like Fana said, it was inevitable.
I got a phone call from a good friend of mine called Baptist. He said, listen, I've got one of my friends' son's really talented. So I got to kind of go over about 20 minutes into the session. And I just see this young man just kind of running past everyone. He had great balance, great change of direction. He was smaller than everyone at the time, and he was just kind of causing havoc. I'm someone who loved development. There was so much space for more improvement. My first encounter with Perry, I went over to him, kind of told him what I'd like him to come and start training and stuff. Perry was quite quiet. He kind of said, okay, kind of thing. So I didn't know how to take it. I was like, okay, is he gonna come? Is he not gonna come?
At this stage, it wasn't a thing where straight away I wanted to just throw him in. It was literally just let him see how that was for the day and just see how things went.
He came, he saw what I was doing, he trusted in the process, and then myself and Perry built a relationship.
Me and David's relationship grew more when David took the new under-7s. He started training with David as part of the team, and David said to me one day, well, who does his one-to-ones?
He wasn't as skillful as he is now, so me and his dad had a good chat, and then I think we just said, okay, we're gonna start concentrating on just technical work with him, and yeah, we just started the ship rolling. Creative on the last one. Creative.
One thing with me, I don't know everything. I don't pretend I do. So if someone that's experienced is gonna come and let me know something, I'm all ears, especially when it comes to Khalil, because it's not me, it's him, it's his journey. So that's kind of how you end up with David to start with.
David always used to tell me that hard work beats talent that doesn't work hard.
Everything else kind of fell into place. Once we started to implement skills, he was like a sponge. If you teach him something, within less than 5 minutes, he already kind of absorbed it. At the time, I was head of pre-academy at Crystal Palace, so I brought him as an under 6. At the time, that wasn't heard of for an under 6 to go in.
Well, pre-academy was just like, it was just a different environment. Every player was up to a certain standard. So everything I'd done had to be almost at my A game. We
had him training initially with the under 7s, and within maybe 3 weeks, we had him training with the under 8s. So he was training 2 ages up. I kind of have to make sure they give him the ball and believe in him, because I said to them that he's here for a reason.
When Khalil was at Palace as an under 6, I remember the day as well when David called him in to play with the 8s, and he's gone out there with them looking like someone's little brother, like a mascot. And I remember I was in the change room, and I've kind of just said to him, look, be brave, yes, and work hard. And David's like, he's the bravest here, sort of thing. Khalil scored 3 goals that day, yeah, and they wanted him to score. Like when he scored, one of the big kids picked him up. Like they were happy, but Dave is the one that made that happen, if you get what I'm trying to say. The way he integrated him into that group, it was really good.
After about 2 weeks, Khalil was one of the first people they picked when it was time to pick in teams at the end to play matches.
With the discipline side of things, I'm always strict to him. If you're not willing to learn, you're not gonna get no better. So that's something I had to kind of put into him from early.
You don't need the idea, you just need to do what I'm telling you to do. The zone, pass for now. Inside. That's not inside your foot. Inside your foot, too.
And it was because I could see the kid was so much like me. As a footballer, when I was young, I just wanted to play matches. So if I had a coach telling me practice a step over 5 times, I think I don't need to do that. Just to play a game.
2. Yeah, really well.
So it's like he needed to enjoy the process of training.
Got like personal routines, like when I wake up in the morning every day, I stretch. Loosen up the muscles. I've got a night routine. I do things like press-ups, burpees, planks, sit-ups. I grab a tennis ball, do some kick-ups, do some off-the-wall work, short ankle, and then maybe do a bit of technical, but that's just kind of like my daily routine.
My dad was the sort of man, I remember I come home with my GCSE results, and I think I got an A and a B in English, and I was, Dad, I got an A and a B. He said, you live in England, bro.
Yeah, I love that.
They speak English. And I'm looking at the man like, whoa. But that's how I was grown, innit? So he's gonna get grown the same.
Playing against defense, receiving inside, we have confidence. Good. I remember him coming in to do the holiday camp at like 6 years old. I remember he had his packed lunchbox. So he's opened it and I saw carrots and cucumbers and I'm like, wow. So I'm looking at kind of Khalil diet from a young age. He's really cautioned on what Khalil was eating.
Every little extra percent counts, innit? For his brain to be free and think properly, he's got to have this fuel. Food is fuel, that's how I see it.
There might be a few days where I'm tired, but it's not that it's difficult because it's like I still want to do it. So when you've got that, it's just like you keep going naturally. Things like going outside and stretching in the morning are just natural now. It's not things I have to think about doing. Boys my age, I don't think work as hard as me. Because one of the perks of having a dad like mine is I'm homeschooled.
So I started homeschooling Khalil at the end of his under 8 year. That was his last school year. It wasn't solely about football. It was homeschooling. Like, we had lockdown for like, I think 2 years. The school was sending home work on the computer. He was doing it by himself, sending it back in. I'd check the results, it was always right. I didn't have to teach him nothing for 2 years. So I started looking at the school system like, what's going on here then? When I'm going to parents' evenings, So this is part of it as well, because it was bright. So it's like, I'm going parents' evening and saying he's on the advanced table and we've got to make him sit by himself so the others don't copy his work on the advanced table. It was like, I was seeing like a double up here. Like in football, he's getting a bit isolated because he's ahead. At school, he's getting a bit isolated because he's ahead. So I thought, do you know what? For him to be someone special, he can't do what everyone else is doing. So I decided just to tailor everything more around him. It also allowed him to train at hours where, rather than every time you train, it's after school, when you've had a long day at school and you're tired. Sometimes it's football training, where his learning can be fresh in his head. So it weren't a solely football thing, which I think people think it was, but it weren't. The social aspect is what everyone used to talk about. And for me, yeah, if that's all that people are going to say about school, you're missing social, then you don't need to be there. Because as far as I was concerned, yeah, I didn't see it as a big issue because he's got a big family network. Some of them kids that he plays football with, he's known them since he was 5 and 6. They're his friends, do you know what I mean? So I'd rather have friends that are on the same journey rather than a friend that might try and lead him astray in 2-3 years.
He's just always been there. Like, he'll go to every game. I go on tour with Chelsea, he's always there. But like, going back to, like, when he's watching me play, he's always looks out for what's not great in that situation or in that moment. So he's always just helping me go another step in my journey.
He's got to enjoy it, but he's still got to understand the opportunity that's in front of him. And I don't think there's no set way it can be. You just have to literally adapt to moments. And as they're getting older, you gotta know the kid, and kind of know what buttons to press and when to press them, if you get what I mean.
For me to have that much care and involvement, a blessing, because not a lot of parents will do what he does, as in see what wasn't good enough. So it's just nice to have my dad.
There's an Islamic saying that you know someone when you travel or do business with them, but it's not until I traveled with him and I saw the relationship they had, father and son relationship, what made me look at him in a different light.
His sacrifice was obviously a big one, but from when I was young, he always just told me that he'll give his 50% and I need to give my 50%.
It becomes your life. It's a journey that I'm actually enjoying with him. It's a sacrifice, but it ain't a sacrifice at the end of the day. If you love football, it's not really a sacrifice. Me and Khalil are so close, I've had to, at stages, you gotta either drop him and leave him or go. I realized early, it can't always be about me. He's gotta have good people around him.
I would say more than coach, I'm more like uncle.
David's one of Khalil's biggest fans. I know when Khalil's with David, Khalil's gonna feel good.
Like, I remember one time where I think I won a free kick. I was about to take in my right foot. David said, no, take it on left peg. And I hit my left and I actually scored.
Left foot, boy, left foot, left foot. Left peg.
It's just like David always made the game fun.
Nah. Nice doing business with you, man.
I think it's a blessing almost, because David is just one of those people who also loves the game. The way David did help me develop it just like made everything so much easier for me across my journey so far.
Having good people around you and people that understand the process is very important. Even when it came down to signing, David's job was to get him to sign at Palace.
At the time I was in charge at Crystal Palace, but at the time he was also at Arsenal, and there was so much clubs interested in Khalil.
A lot of people would have just tried to streamline him into Palace, try and give me tunnel vision.
I can't imagine to think about what Perry was obviously thinking about.
He'd been offered everywhere. So for me, I know he's getting signed. Is he gonna sign at the best place for him? David didn't make me feel no way about him going to Chelsea. When he realised that was where he was gonna go, he said, you know what? You should be able to trust him with his development as well. So I think David's been very important for Khalil's journey.
So when I signed for Chelsea, it was just like a great achievement, but it's also like a reminder, like, I have to keep going. When I play with the older boys at Chelsea, it's more everything just has to be a bit quicker because they're so much bigger, stronger and faster. So I have to make sure that I'm one step ahead. I got signed, but I have to keep going with the buildings, like, just to make sure I get to the end. I think when I do go abroad with Chelsea, it's probably one of the most fun and exciting things about being at the club. Because like the difference between, I'd say, like playing here and playing abroad is the crowd. You've got like the Atletico Madrid parents singing and chants, like banging drums. That's just not the same environment over here. I prefer having a crowd than having no crowd, because it's like, it just brings more excitement to the game.
He loves Europe. Europe's different to here. You got like a real crowd, the atmosphere is big, and he wins a lot of individual accolades. So he'll win players of the tournament, so he'll get in team of the tournament. That's recognition that you were there, but he wants to win as well, as the group, as the team. And I think he's only been a part of one team winning abroad. It'll be nice for him to get both, put them both together at some stage in the next couple of years.
I think my proudest moment is generally getting sponsored by Nike, because I got sponsored at 10, so it was like a great achievement considering how old I was. It's more of, like I said earlier, a reminder just to keep going. It's a reminder that I'm doing well and that people are proud and I'm at a good place, but it's also a reminder that it's like the journey's not finished yet.
When we go to Europe and he turns up in the big games and the crowd, we have people wanting to take pictures with him and all of that sort of stuff. We have grown adults wanting to take pictures with him. You kind of think, bloody hell, kids. Like, another proud moment I had, he hit that target in front of Ronaldinho. People were there for like an hour trying to hit that target. When Ronaldinho turned up, he turned into someone else.
I think that Ronaldinho day was just the perfect day in general, because a few hours before that I had won the under-11s nationals. So to go to that event and end up meeting Ronaldinho and hitting top bins in front of him was just great. But even though everyone calls it a pressure moment, everyone only sees me hit it. Really and truly, I had 6 attempts, so I had 3 attempts before Ronaldinho even got there. I missed all 3. Then when he got there, it's like, rather than him being pressure, he was like a boost of confidence.
I said, okay, cool. I thought, yeah. When it's a big game or when it's business end or when it's meant to be pressure, he doesn't feel it.
On the pitch, I just have to stay in my zone basically. So at home, I would often like do a lot of meditating, like trying to get no thoughts in my head, trying to get a blank brain so I can just almost like relieve stress. So it's like pressure goes from one ear and goes out the other.
You'll find more pressure in development moments. His biggest pressure, he puts it on himself sometimes, is finding his top level, but he's always been like that. I remember when he was under 7, he's popped a rainbow flick in a game, and as the ball's come down, he slapped it with his left foot top corner. And after the game, we're walking out, and like, this is when I realised it's a bit tapped. We're walking out, he's going, Dad, do you feel I played well? Like, and he looked worried. I said, I didn't know what to say. I was saying, it was crazy. Like, just relax, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Making it to the top is a 100% commitment.
He's got a foundation, and I just hope that he continues his journey and just keeps developing.
Me staying humble is really important, because if I didn't stay humble and I got overconfident or arrogant, people that are currently behind me in the process will then pass me and I won't be able to catch up.
So from the outsider looking in, it probably looks like he just achieved, but every day is a challenge. I always think, can you have too much too soon? You're at a stage where it's like, you don't want to be that kid that what happened to you.
Khalil, well played. What a basketball, there it is.
He's a really good role model, and I just hope that he continues his journey and just keeps developing.
Do you think
Is Khalil proud of himself? I'm not even sure, you know. I think he's had moments where he's proud of himself. I think he knows he's still got a lot to do.
Do I think Khalil's proud of himself? Most definitely. Most definitely. Because one thing with Khalil, he sees his improvement. Whatever he does, he puts 100%. So I know.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself, but I think there's still a lot more to do. Still a long way to go.
I'm proud, but like we always say, you ain't done nothing yet. So you just gotta keep doing what you're doing, keep your head down, kid.
What's meant to be will be. I believe he's going to be the first Ballon d'Or winner to come out of Lambeth Tigers.
It's a dream, and I think that dream is 100% attainable. When you talk about Messi and Ronaldo, you don't say they're footballers, you say they're GOATs. So I want to be even better than them. So just making it to the top is a start. Being better than them is an achievement. I want to make that achievement by the end of my career.
And how hard are you going to work to achieve that?
Every day, non-stop, just to achieve that goal.